Mr. Truck here with another exciting edition of our truck reviews. Today, my son and I have the top contenders in the off-road world. These are both factory trucks made to go play. And this one is a 2017 Ford Raptor. The all-new one just came out. Today, it's not a mashup. I don't want you to think we're going to compare these and come out with a winner. These are both very different trucks. We are going to talk about their features. And we're going to go out and pasture Rick's ranch, my friend of mine. We're going to go out and try to chase a few coyotes. Or we might see a few coyotes. But what we have today for this comparison is the 2017 Ford Raptor. This is the second generation, all new truck. And how much power does this have?
It's got 450 horsepower and 510 pound-foot of torque.
The Raptor is an all-automatic truck. It's fun to drive to work and then go play on the weekends. But everything you want to do with this is really a desert racer. This is more of a rock climber. They'll both climb rocks. But this puppy here, these big tires and the Fox shocks can bounce through some unbelievable ruts and sand and everything else, but it's all automatic. You have a dial. You decide if you want to be on Baja mode, which will actually shut off your ABS brakes. And there's other modes, snow and sand and all those different things that will adjust everything for you. Certain modes will lock in your rear locker. Some will hook up the front torque differential. And some of them will actually increase your boost on your turbo. This is twin turbos, 3.5 V6. And the big tires on this Raptor, these are 17-inch wheels, but they're 35-inch tire. This is the BF Goodrich all-terrain. These are really made for off-road use. A pretty big wide tire. So you can go on sand, you can go anything you want to. Also has skid plates all the way underneath. You've seen that. This has those special Fox shocks with the different orifices. You got like 5 different settings where it'll automatically adjust for how you want the dampening to work on the shock. Totally an automatic system. It's just wonderful. Running boards. This is a lower to the ground than the Power Wagon, but it's the running boards are tucked in, so they're out of the way. The front universal shaft on here, the drive shaft, has CV joints for that, all that articulation and movement on there, which is a good thing. And this happens to be a super cab, but even though it's a super cab, you got seat belts for 6 people. You also have, and in this super cab, I don't remember seeing this, but look at this. It's got, if I unlock the damn window, it's got a window. Can you see that? Look at that. It's got a window, rolls up and down in the super cab. That is just too cool. One of those things. Here's that cool door. It opens up so far. I was gonna have you guys climb in the back. Oh, did I get your arm? Look at that. And you open up a little bit to get out, and then you go get groceries. You're next to all these cars. And look at that. So this is a real short wheelbase, like a 5.5 foot bed on the back. With a crew cab, you can get the 6.5 foot bed. You can see some of the Fox shocks underneath there. Got that extra reservoir with the floating piston. Hooks, both these trucks have tow hooks all over the place. And this one has the push button. I guess I should get that and show you that. LED lighting all over the place. It has the 3 up front, all that for the wider trucks. But look at this. Push my key fob a couple times. I said push my key fob a couple times. And it comes down, which is really cool. And then of course this has the steps. See, I can sit on this tailgate. It's fine. It's got some cup holder spots. The other step tailgate had all these ribs in it. You couldn't sit on it. You couldn't work on it. I use mine for a workbench. But you push the button and you drop down the tailgate and you pull this up and you have a handle. And then you can climb up. In the back, this also has the power rear window. It's got the sprayed in bed liner and all the cleats, all the cargo management in this truck. But that is awesome. Drop that puppy down, even number it in case you don't know what you're doing. And then it all slides back together. Wish the button lifted it up, but it doesn't. It's a light, easy lifting tailgate. Even though it's big, it's bulky. Okay, let's go inside. still has a steering wheel that's red wrap on top, so you know what's up when you're jumping. But it's got this big screen, and here you've got, this one has the trailer backup, which there's some stickers you put on your trailer, your camera zoom in on it, then it helps you steer by turning this left or right instead of using the steering wheel. Something new they came out with last year. And this, of course, is the buttons for everything. It's push button start. It's got the button where you can, or the knob to put it in 2 high, 4 high, 4 low, or 4-wheel drive automatic, which is, you know, that's a lighter duty 4-wheel drive system, which you see on the heavy duties, but it's really awesome. I mean, it's most of your half tons now are having that, so that you just leave it on and you don't know if there's ice, snow, whatever you're driving on. So I like that idea. The brake controller's down a little too low. I'm not really wild about that. But look at this. I got paddle shifters, so I can be flying through the air and I'll take my eye off the road to look for my shifter and just shift. And this is a 10-speed automatic, new for this year. This has dual injectors. It's got a direct injection and a port injection. So you got 6 times 2, 12 injectors. And you can go in and out of all these modes. This also has adaptive cruise control, which I'm really fond of. You set it and you set the distance from the truck in front of you or the car in front of you, and you can fly down the road and just not do anything. And it'll slow down and speed up whatever it needs, whatever miles per hour you had it set at. But up here you got all these toggle switches. You want to add snowplow lights, you can wire them in, they're all fused. A lot of different toys in this truck. That's awesome. It's real similar to what the F-150 is. It does have an aluminum body on it. And this one basically is $63,000. That's the MSRP. Of course, since they're still rare, you can't buy them for $63,000. This is probably in the 70s. You got to buy a premium on these or pay a premium to get them. And this has a hill descent and all that. It's the 450 horsepower, 510 pound-feet of torque on that V6 twin turbo. And this one's set for 6,000 pound trailer. And, you know, over the F-150, it's got 2-inch taller shocks, 2-inch wider. It's, you know, the whole truck's 6 inches wider. The track is 2 inches wider. But this one actually has a rating on EPA for fuel mileage because it is a half-ton, where the Ram is a 3/4 ton heavy duty. So this one actually by the government says it'll get 18 miles a gallon on the highway, 15 in the city, 16 as a combined. Now that's all about 2 miles a gallon better than the first generation, the one they had 2 years ago. So it's come up quite a bit. Now you're going to have to jump up in here. What am I for? Hear the sound in this puppy.
Wait a minute. I'm going to zoom out as much as I can.
I want you to turn the fan down. I want you to hear the sound inside here. Doesn't sound like a V8 at all in the cab. They have, of course, they have augmentation. You got speakers that just kind of balance the sound out so it's a deeper tone, a masculine sound. Sounds pretty cool on the outside, but that's a different thing here. Now, try to figure out all these modes. Let's see. Let's go into the modes. Okay, if you can see that with the camera, right there shows you all the different modes that came out in the middle. And it looks like they're saying there's 5 of them. One is more of a street road one, but you got a sport, you got a tow haul mode on the side here. You can manual shift off the lever also, but let me go through these. And let's see. That's sport, which on the other F-150s is down on the stick here. So you got sport mode, you've got weather, I guess it's bad weather. You've got, it's shifted into 4-wheel drive, and that's mud and sand, so it's 4 high, and it decides whether or not he wants to lock it. There's Baja, which actually disconnects your ABS, so you have better braking. And what's the last one? That's rock crawl. So that, it wants you to shift it to low, and then it takes over from there. So that is pretty cool. It says OK. There's the OK button over there. So that is awesome. All that, and it'll change everything. Can you see the middle piece? Because that's what it's all about. It is just so cool. Yes, normal, sport, and all that. And then it decides what it wants to do. It decides 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, whatever you want. And that is how it sets itself up. And these paddle shifters, you know, you got plus and minus 10 gears. You can just sit there and play all day. Now this one here, when it's in tow haul mode, which is on the shifter here, then, you know, it'll basically go through all the gears under a load. Without tow haul mode, it basically will jump a few gears like you would in a truck that's empty. So, you know, you don't have to worry about going through every gear, and you don't really feel it shift. It's amazing. Now you look up front, and the cameras here, That's my front camera, so when I'm rock crawling, I can actually see the rocks in front of me, which is really cool. The button's up here. And then there's the 360 degree angle. And then you can just keep playing with that. Well, I mean, so there's a 360. There's a little bit of an angle down, so you can see the lower terrain. But I love this front camera. It's so cool. And that's the split, gives you a wider view, and then you can go all the way to the 360 over here. So I can drive up next to a bank or whatever I'm doing and see what I'm running into. But yeah, this is that automatic truck. So it takes all the work and worry about it. You just select the mode and go, and that's all there is to it. You can do some manual controls too, but most of this is set up to be just for an automatic setup. A lot of fun. This thing floats down the roads. It's a very soft ride.
And we got tons of pickup truck questions, right?
Right. Where do we go for the answers?
We go to the Truck Nuts book.
Because we're truck nuts. And we wrote the book, Truck Nuts. We're nuts about truck, the ultimate guide to buying a truck, or to looking at a truck, or judging a truck. You know, whether it's diesel versus gas, new versus used, what your teenagers should learn about trucks, all that. You do all kinds of cool tests.
Yeah, we do a lot of testing. We do the iGauntlet, world's toughest towing test, up the mountain and down the mountain. We do MPG testing on the highway, loaded with trailers.
Yeah.
We do off-road testing. A lot of that data is in this book as well, and it's a one-stop shop for truck information.
That's true. We test trucks, maximum capacity, up to the biggest grades you can do on the interstate.
Yep.
So we really put them to the test. And, you know, you can get all the facts you can't find anywhere else. We do MPG tests, which you can't find on any sticker anywhere. So, you know, all that stuff that you can't find is in the book.
And you can find the book at trucknutsbook.com. There are links to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and all the other bookstores as well.
So read about your truck nuts. There's a 360, and there's what's going on in front of us. So that way you can see the coyotes in case we ran over one, or whatever we're running over, maybe it's cows. Some nice hard sand. Like this place, the only place I've been airborne is this one. Where was that place that we climbed up the bank? Was that back by the gate? Or was this just fly up that bank in a matter of life? Yeah, you can chase your cows in pretty fast with this. I know this might even have a massaging seat. You really get excited.
There's no way I can travel at this speed from here. In my truck.
Yeah.
There we got one wheel off the ground.
Yeah, one wheel. Yeah, I can actually drive as fast as I can hang on to it. This is where it turned around.